I first heard about Finiko 3 months ago, but at that time their website was only in Russian and it was a bit difficult to use. But then a month ago they gave us an English version and I started to research them a bit deeper. Now Finiko are really well known within Russia as a financial services company that offers financing to purchase large items like cars and property, otherwise known as real estate. Now I'm not interested in buying cars or property at the moment, but I am interested in their trading. Now they've got a team of 12 traders and I spoke to them about showing me evidence of their trading. And they said, well, look, why don't we trade your account for a few days to show you what we can do? So I put $2,000 into my broker account, gave Finiko access to it, and they produced some really impressive results. So now that I have the evidence of their trading, I'm ready to present this company to you guys. Now, as I said, this company is a financial services company, and they've been going since January 2018. Now, a large part of their business is providing loans for purchasing property and cars. And even though that's not relevant to us necessarily, the importance of that is they are a large financial services company. Now, when you're providing loans for real estate or cars, high-ticket items, you're a serious company with serious resources. Now, Finiko have 130 offices across Russia. Now, that's pretty incredible. Now, I know Russia's a big place, but 130 offices. With the companies that we normally deal with, if they've got one office, we're lucky. 130? Well, that gives us a lot of choice. Now, in fairness, most of those offices are for dealing with the public in relation to car and property loans. Now, these guys have their own debit card and they operate a cashback system. And I'll go into that in a later date, but I like the fact that they have their own card. Now, the main guy behind this company is Kirill Doronin, and this guy is all over the internet. He's all over YouTube, but of course it's in Russian. Now, they regularly do Ask Me Anything question and answer sessions. And the senior directors and the traders, they come on stage, they present each facet of their business, and then they let the audience ask them anything they want. And in some of these events, you have around 500 people. And there's recordings on YouTube that last 3 and 4 hours. So there's a lot of transparency here. Now, as I mentioned, they have a team of 12 traders, not just one master trader, so to speak, 12 traders. And those guys regularly take questions as well. Now, the minimum deposit is $1,000 in Bitcoin. Now, these traders perform very well, and I'll show you that in a minute. But the average monthly profit is 21%. Now, there are fees, which will take a chunk off that, but it's still a very nice percentage. Now, I'll just mention one other thing about the company, and that's their charity called I Love Living. And it's a children's charity. And they regularly update us on what's going on with that charity, some of the children that they're helping, the progress they're making. And again, if you were a scammy company, you wouldn't do any of this stuff because all of this stuff is traceable. So it's another sign of transparency and credibility. Now, here's an example of one of their events. Now, this one took place on the 18th of March 2020. It's not the biggest event I've seen them do, but it's a pretty reasonable size audience. And this is Kirill, the CEO. As you can see, he's quite a casual guy. And the text on the screen behind him reads, How to Make Money. And a lot of his presentations follow a very similar structure. He talks about Bitcoin. They then present their products and they talk about the card. And now Kirill introduces their head trader. And the word on the screen there says traders. And now he's showing us an MT4 account where they're trading gold to USD using the broker IC Markets, who are an Australian broker that I use myself, a very good broker. And you can see from the figures here that this is updating in real time. This is a live trade. Actually, this is an MT5 account, not an MT4 account. And here we can see the trades. So it costs $1,000 to start here. And this is what they do with that $1,000. You can see some of the things they trade on. And then they take questions. And this is what I was saying about transparency and these Ask Me Anything sessions. I've heard some people ask some really difficult questions. They don't seem like they have anything to hide, and I really like that. Great transparency. And then they talk about their card and the cashback system. And this tall guy here is their main IT guy. And by all accounts, he's a very clever guy. And he's a big part of their success story. So I hope that gives you just a flavor of who these guys are, how they get out there, do many, many events. You can find lots of examples on YouTube where these guys are going from city to city doing these kinds of events. Now, I mentioned that I asked for trading evidence and that they traded against my broker account in International Capital Markets, IC Markets. So they started with exactly $2,000, and in 2 days of trading, they made $314.46 profit. That's after fees. So if I put that into a calculator, just to show you the basic numbers in case the maths is a problem, we divide that by 2. So that's 15.7% profit in only 2 days. Now that's amazing. Now they held the account open for another 2 days, and then I got a message saying they had completed trading against my account. So the results speak for themselves. Now that doesn't mean they're going to pay us 15% after only 2 days. So this was a demonstration that they kindly did that showed how good their traders are. So I'm obviously delighted with the results. So just to show you some of the figures here, so they were trading gold to USD and then euro to USD. They made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades. They won 7 and they lost 1. And there's the profit. There's the total balance. Yeah, and some stats down there if you want to look at that. And here is the same information in my MT4 account if you want to pause the video and check any of that. And this is the trade tab in my MT4 account showing that all trades are closed, and I'm left with a balance of 231446. And these trades were placed manually. So what's my verdict on Finiko? Well, I always like to start with what I don't like. And one thing I don't like is the fees. There's a 3.5% deposit fee, and I always think deposit fees are the worst, and then a 3% withdrawal fee. Now let's say the average profit is 21% per month. If you were to withdraw after 30 days, then that 21% reduces to 14.5%. Now these are just averages. The monthly percentage could be 24% or 20%. Anyway, I think those fees are high. Now the other thing is, although there's no lock-in period, which I would normally say that's a huge benefit, there is a 20-day wait for capital withdrawals. So let's say I deposited $1,000 on the Monday, and then on the Friday I decided, well, I've changed my mind, I want to withdraw. Well, as soon as you withdraw, you stop receiving daily profits, and you have to wait 20 days for those funds to arrive back in your wallet. So I don't like that. Now for profit withdrawals, they take 3 working days. And that's not too bad, but it's also not great. So if I was to withdraw my profits on a Friday, I'd receive them on a Wednesday. Anyway, so they're the things that I don't like. But now for the things that I do like. I like the transparency of the CEO, Kirill, at these AMA events, Ask Me Anything. I like when the senior leadership are visible and are transparent enough to go in front of the customers and face any questions. I really think that's great transparency. And I really appreciated that they traded on my broker account and got me a 15.7% profit. It shows a lot of confidence because anything could have happened. They could have had a bad couple of days on the market and they could have lost me money. But that was a pretty impressive gain in a very short period. So you have to have a lot of confidence in your traders to be able to take that on. And they knew I was going to be making videos about this, so I was very clear with them on that. So I liked that they had the confidence to take that challenge on. Now, although the trading aspect is the only thing I'm interested in Finiko, I like the fact that they have other aspects to their business. Because it means when one business unit isn't doing as well, the others can act as buffers. We've seen recently where some companies have a single revenue stream, and once that's impacted, the company's in serious trouble. But in this case, this is one aspect of their business. Now, I also like that they have 130 offices. And even though they're not related to trading, it means they have a big presence in the country. They're a serious company. And of course, I like that the average monthly profit is very high. These guys are successful traders. I've gone back and looked at results going back to July 2019. And these guys are good. And I also like that we can withdraw or cash out our profits with the card. Now, I don't have a card at the moment, but I'll be applying for one. And I'm looking forward to that functionality where I can spend my profits on the card. And lastly, and very, very importantly, these guys are licensed. Now, how many companies do you know in the crypto space that have a license? Now, they have 2 licenses and they're regulated in Estonia. And the key license I'm interested in is that they are licensed to exchange cryptocurrency against fiat. Fiat being your local currency like US dollars, rubles, yen, whatever. So I hope you agree this is a very impressive company. And I'm really excited to have these as a low risk company added to the list of companies on my website that I'm happy to recommend.